understanding the difference between your thinking and your brain's thinking, the thoughts produced by your brain, is an essential step in freeing yourself from the thoughts that your brain produces. Now, your brain is a defensive mechanism. We've learned that your brain is designed to protect you from danger. Its most primitive design is to protect you from physical danger, to make you afraid of heights and things like that, and snakes, and keep you from physical danger. And it makes sense. But it also protects you from emotional danger. And sometimes those emotional dangers our brain is most sensitive to. Fear of failure, fear of disapproval. Those things can become incredibly powerful things that our brain tries to avoid. Now let's look at this. Here's you and here's your brain. Your brain produces thoughts based on the fact that it's a defensive mechanism. So your brain, I'm going to put your brain's thoughts in red. Your brain thought will produce thoughts like, I can't do something. Okay, so maybe you tried something in the past. Now your brain will keep producing thoughts as, you can't do that. Why is it doing that? Well, it's trying to protect you from failure. It's trying to protect you from feeling bad about what you just did. But that defensive mechanism is causing you not to want to try again. Okay, so the I can't, that's a huge one that your brain produces. Things like, I don't like green beans. I don't like cottage cheese. Well, it's just because your brain has created this thought based on past experiences. Can you learn to like something different? Well, of course you can. Of course you can. But your brain is creating that thought. And if you believe your brain's thought is your thought, you'll be stuck in these things and you'll never ever change. So think about this. How do you know what is the difference between a thought your brain is producing or a thought that you're producing? And here's a skill that most people don't have. So when you get this skill, it's life-changing. If you get the proper definition of who you are, you'll know that you can only create thoughts that are based in love. Any thought that's created in fear or anger has to be a thought that's produced by the defensive mechanism called your brain. You yourself you don't produce those thoughts. You can only produce thoughts that are from love, caring, and all those things that make you feel comfortable. To prove this to yourself, have you ever overreacted, got mad at somebody or something, and then later felt bad about it? Well, it's because you went with that thought your brain had. Your brain had a thought, they shouldn't do that to me. You got mad at them. Or a child spilled something on the carpet. You get mad at them. And your brain produced that thought because it was thinking, gosh, now I got to have the expense of cleaning this. And remember, defensive mechanism. When I save money, I got to clean it. Now I got it. Now I got to spend money to clean it, or I got to replace it. Defensive mechanism. But later on, you think, gosh, I love my kids. I love my friends. Carpet's not important. Whatever happened wasn't important. It's my caring for them, the love for them. So it's difficult to wrap your mind around this because we all operate so automatically on when we have a thought. We think it's ours. But realize that most of your thoughts, like 90% or more of the thoughts that you are experiencing, are really just thoughts produced from your brain. And your brain is a defensive mechanism that creates the worst case scenarios, that brings up every negative thing in the past to protect you. If it didn't work before, it's not going to work again, so might as well not try and save yourself the pain. That's what your brain is producing. Once you become... Sorry about that, my camera just ran out of battery, so I'm coming back to you. To summarize, the ability to understand and to start to see the difference between your brain's thoughts and your thoughts is an essential skill for you to have to make changes in your life. When you view all of the thoughts going on that your brain is producing as your thoughts, well, you think that you identify with those things. You think, when your brain says, I don't like green beans, you think, I don't like green beans. But that's not true. You can learn to like whatever you want to. You are a human being with incredible power. You're not stuck just because I don't like green beans, I'll never like green beans. That's your brain's thinking based on old programming. So getting this distinction between your brain's thinking, your thinking, incredibly important, incredibly powerful skill, not only for yourself, but to teach your kids, to find this difference, because our negative emotions, every negative emotion, depression, anxiety, overwhelm, all these things that get us into these funks that cause us to oftentimes go to food, those thoughts are coming from your brain. Those thoughts are coming from your brain. They're not coming from you. They're always coming from your brain, being a defensive mechanism. It has produced those thoughts of fear, of what people are thinking, worst case scenarios. It's always looking for the worst thing. What's the worst that could happen? It's constantly going there. And we have to accept that, because we know that our brain is designed to protect us. If we didn't have a brain protecting us, we'd all get into a lot of trouble physically and emotionally. But it can get to be too much and then control our lives. So this distinction, learning this, is a key first step in permanent weight loss. Hope this makes sense to you. This is Dave Erickson, Live by Choice.